I was looking at the Aorus X3 V7 the other day, and it looks like an awesome laptop. Honestly, right now it's kind of my dream laptop. If it had Thunderbolt 3, it would be perfect. Luckily for me, I can't afford it right now anyway, so I would be looking to the next version anyway. So then I began to look at budget gaming laptops that weren't like the 15.6-inch versions, you know, like a 14-inch one. And to my surprise, I really couldn't find any. Which is really weird, because like every company that went to CES and makes laptops has a 15.6-inch gaming laptop. Yet none of them have a budget 14-inch gaming laptop. I don't know, at least from my perspective, this looks like a market that no one has really tapped into yet, and that they really should. You think with the Razer Blade being as popular as it is, a bunch of people would have come out with cheaper versions of it. Only 2 companies have attempted a cheaper blade option, with the Gigabyte Aero 14 and the Lenovo Y700 14-inch. The Gigabyte Aero 14, when it came out, was actually a pretty cool laptop and was able to fight the Blade on a bunch of things, including having better battery life, having 2 drive slots, and a better mix of I/O, although they didn't have Thunderbolt 3. However, the Gigabyte Aero 14 wasn't really a budget option. It was cheaper than the Razer Blade, but still wasn't cheap. I consider budget to be up to about $1,000, and then after that it kind of gets more premium product. The other one, the Lenovo Y700, was in the budget tier, around $800 to $700 when you could get it, but it had 2 big problems. Number 1 was battery life. If you want something to be a portable machine, it needs to have good battery life, otherwise it's portably tethered. The second thing that really cut this thing down was its graphical performance. The AMD R9 graphics card isn't really that good. At the time, 960M was kind of the norm for the budget gaming laptop, but the AMD R9 could pump out closer to a 950M. So when you're trying to make a portable gaming laptop and it fails on one end of the portability and on the other end of the gaming, you're kind of left with just a good laptop instead of one you really would have enjoyed. Ever since then, no one has really tried to replace it or put something into that budget 14-inch gaming laptop market. When Laptop Magazine had their best 14-inch budget gaming laptop, they put the Lenovo Y700, even though it's not that great, but because it's the only one in that market. So here's maybe kind of my dream for it. So I'm going to be using the Lenovo Y520 as kind of a reference point because Lenovo have attempted this before. I'd really like for them to give it a solid second attempt. So first, take the Lenovo Y520 and just shorten everything so it has a 14-inch screen. So make the area smaller, height, the width. You can keep the thickness though, that's fine. Just make it so it's a 14-inch laptop. Then to save some space, get rid of that 2.5-inch drive bay, and if you have room left, add more battery cells to it. Really try to get this thing to a 55 watt-hour battery or a 60 watt-hour battery. I'd really like this thing to get 5 or 6 hours of battery life with normal use. New Dell Inspiron 700 gaming laptop has a 74 watt-hour battery, and it's helped give it some crazy battery life. It doesn't have to be that good or Razer Blade good, but I'd still like good battery life. Instead of the 1050 Ti on the base model of the Y520, you can have its base model be a 1050. So in the 14-inch body, this will be easier to cool and can kind of work to keep down the price a little bit. So if you had a base model of a quad-core i5 and GTX 1050, 8 GB of RAM, and 250 128 gig SSD for $900, that would be a really cool machine. That would be a great product. I would probably try and buy one, or at least save up and buy one, but it would be a lot easier than saving up for the Aorus X3 V8 when it comes out, hopefully with Thunderbolt 3. And this isn't only for Lenovo and their Legion lineup. I would really like to see some other companies try and make this budget 14-inch gaming laptop. I'm curious to see A, how well they can do, and B, if they can make a good one. Making a product like this would be really unique in the fact that it is kind of competing with the Razer Blade, but it's competing with it at a very different price level. So it doesn't need a better display, better graphics, better portability, better battery life. All it needs to do is be good at all of those things while being a lot cheaper. Anyways, these are just my thoughts and opinions. I understand it takes a while to make a laptop and you can't just shorten it by an inch. So if you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you'd like to see more content, click subscribe. And I'm gonna go back to looking at laptops. I'm sorry, it's an addiction.